for Thursday, December 7th, 2017.
Gary Bowden.
Here.
Frank Ferrari.
Here.
Marshall Goff.
Here.
Brian Kennedy. Chad Sigmund.
Here.
Vice Mayor Malfajoe.
Here.
Mayor Goins. Here. This evening we have our prayer and pledge by our Vice Mayor.
Before we have our prayer and pledge, can somebody go out there and ask those ladies to before we have our prayer and pledge, I'd like to give everyone a little history lesson today. It's been 76 years since the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and we lost 2,300 Americans. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of the community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions, and continue to remind us that all that we do here this evening and all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of the truth, for the greater glory of your name, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening we have a couple of special presentations. Mayor Goins, and if our Liberty High School coach of cheerleading would come forward.
We're very excited to be here this evening to honor one of our local high schools. So, Barb, the City of Clarksburg is presenting a certificate of recognition. This certificate is presented to Barbara Brunetti, duly awarded in recognition of your exceptional coaching skills and dedication to youth that earned the Liberty High School cheerleading squad Class AA Big Ten Conference Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, very proud. And I have a certificate for you as well as Diana Shanholtz. Okay. And your volunteer Stephanie Messenger. Stephanie, would you please come up? And your choreographer, Brian Faulkner.
He's not here this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we have individual certificates for all the cheerleaders. Gary will present those.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? Tyara Beafor. That's on the very first one. Do you want them to stay up
Yeah,
here for
come
photos?
up here and then
Just
we're going
go all the way
to
down
take a
and
group
line up.
picture.
Jason
Jason Everly.
Everly.
I gave you the difficult one.
I actually MC a scholarship banquet every spring for high school students. And I really try to go to great pains to make sure at that night where we're giving out scholarships that I pronounce students' names correctly. To me, there's nothing worse than to honor someone and then butcher their name. But I go around the room beforehand and I'll find some students from Bridgeport or RCB or whatever, and I'll ask the student, how do you say this student's name? How do you say this student's name? It used to be 10, 15, I've been doing it for a long time, about 15 years ago, I had trouble with the last names. Now when I go, I have trouble with the first names, and these first two are perfect examples. Those are different than Kathy and Ann and Sally, the names that I'm more accustomed to. I know I'm just old, but Marissa Watson. Thank you for being kind to me, Marissa. That was so nice. Kelly Womeldorf. Womeldorf?
Kelsey Womeldorf.
Kelsey? Oh, well, I actually read it correctly, and apparently, is there supposed to be an S in there? Do we correct? We will correct that for you, all right? You want to keep it then? It's Kelsey. Congratulations, Kelsey. Well, this is just rolling right along, isn't it? I'm so happy Kathy had me do this. Ashton Allen. God bless you, Ashton. Congratulations. Here you go. Get out of here, yeah. Harley Davidson, it's Harley Davis, yeah. Congratulations. Avery Messenger. Congratulations. Mackenzie Ship. Caitlin Howell. Alright. Kelsey Allen. Caitlin Nutter. Congratulations. There you go. Madison Watson. Congratulations. All right.
Now, Barb, I don't mean to put,
My folder is empty. Help us, Barb.
Gracie Fahey.
Gracie Fahey. Ceremony folder. So it looks like you won a big honor there. And we'll get you a certificate.
yeah. Barb, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Would you like to say a word or two?
Well, I just really, this has been a great year with these young ladies, especially we took in 5 new freshmen this year, and we felt we were kind of maybe going to rebuild a little bit, but that wasn't the case because they caught on very quickly. Of course, they have skills from cheering in middle school, and then some did All-Stars, and we gelled together as a family. And honestly, I have to tell you, I know we're not allowed to initiate prayer in school, even with our teams, and we don't, but I'm very happy to say that these girls have Bible study and they pray. You know, we had an issue with it with a teacher, and when I shared it with them, they immediately joined hands and said a prayer. While they have a great skill and while they did well, you know, they went to regionals and we didn't place. We placed 3rd, but we turned around in 2 days and came back and beat everybody, including the 2 that beat us to go to states. And that was 13 teams, 2 of them being AAA schools that we beat. I'm very proud of that, but I have to tell you that the life skills and lessons that they learn make me even more proud of them, because those are things that they're going to carry with them far beyond being a cheerleader. But representing Liberty High School, I couldn't be more proud of them, and I wouldn't want a different group because they're great. Stephanie and Diana, Brian, and the administration of our school has been so supportive. Anything we really want, pretty much within reason. Of course, we raised the money for that, but they're very supportive of us and very proud. The principal handed out their new uniforms this year. She was excited to see their faces. So when you can involve them in those little things that make them feel good, then it just kind of all gels together. We have an amazing group of parents who I wouldn't trade them for the world. I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. And I really want to thank you and the council members. Thank you so much for taking time away from your meeting to recognize this. This is really a big deal for the Big Ten, because there's 13 teams, as I said, in the Big Ten. They're from all counties, not just Harrison. So we're very proud of our girls, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen next year. So thank you again very much.
Let's all get together so we can get a group photo and look at the photographer over there. If you guys want to squeeze in.
Girls, just start a second
Right here,
row
yeah,
down
right here.
here.
The seniors up here. Where's the other seniors?
We could make you do a little cheer.
Well, they should practice. You guys, down. Yeah.
Excuse me. You can help me hold mine.
No. Daddy. Just hide me.
Ben, can I move your... Excuse me. There we go. Since having that right in front of the picture.
All right, one more round of applause.
Well done, girls. Good job, Barb.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Jim.
Sarah.
Jim, no cheating, you gotta do it cold.
Yeah, he's practicing. He's practicing.
I'm smart here.
Is this the soccer team? Oh, yeah.
Okay, next we'll be honoring the RCB High School soccer team. And do we have Coach Tina Smith here this evening? Hi, nice to meet you. Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is presented to Tina Smith, duly awarded in recognition of your exceptional coaching skills and dedication to youth that earned the RCB High School soccer team the sectional, regional, and ultimately 2017 Class AA/A state championship, and further noting the first state soccer championship in school history. Congratulations.
So now we'll honor the girls that did all the work. Lily Curry. Congratulations. Madison Miles. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kaylee Davis. Congratulations. Casey Underwood. Congratulations. Lucy Thompson. Congratulations. Jillian Weaver. We'll give that to you. Please. Laura Simmons. Ashton McCain. Brooke Leesburg. Congratulations. Maybe. Avery Williams. Congratulations. Tiara Snyder. Congratulations. Maddie Smith. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Sarah Krim. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Bella Rodehaver. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Molly Gould. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Kirsten King. Colby Williams. Berkeley Richards. We'll just make a wait. Rebecca Williams. Olivia Colin. Congratulations. Some of you girls want to come over this
We'll
way?
come and
so
take
we
another
can-
group picture. Before so, Coach, would you care to say a word or two?
I just want to say that it was a great season for the girls. One thing I was thinking about today, the community has shown us great support and recognition, and we really appreciate that. One thing, I've had a lot of chances to talk and speak about how hard the girls worked. Determination, I would say, would be a huge factor. They were just not willing to lose in that game. They just did not give up the whole end of the season, and particularly down at States in the semifinal and in the championship. And in addition to that, these girls are great leaders in their school, strong academically, a good group of girls to work with. You know, they listen, they show up on time, they want to be there, they enjoy playing the sport. They'll be an asset to the community as they get older. They're good people, good kids.
Thank you.
Guys, scooch this way. Avery, scooch down. You can get in front. Get down.
Yeah, do a couple
Couple
rows
rows.
here.
Freshmen,
There we
sophomores
go.
down front.
Down, down. Want me to like go down? 'Cause I'm not gonna
You girls want to take a knee?
Does that work?
I think they tell us if we want it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. We also have this for you guys.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Curio album. Thank you very much. Isn't that nice?
Congrats again. Nice to see you. Yeah. Good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Approval of the minutes of the regular session of November 20, 2017.
So moved. Second.
If there are no objections, motion carries.
Petitions, communications, and public hearings, if you would please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Martin Schaefer, 211 North 6th Street, wishes to address council concerning 141 East Main Street.
Good evening, distinguished mayor, vice mayor, members of council, city manager Martin Howell. Martin, I'd like to say I'm praying for your wife. I hope she's feeling better.
Thank you, Martin. That means a lot.
I want to give you a brief history. In June of 2009, in a meeting before the vocal board, they requested of me a rehabilitation document, basically similar to the one you have in front of you. And contract, because at the time I had a broken leg, and to finish the front porch and the back porch. So on June 15, 2009, I complied with their request and provided those documents to the meeting. At that meeting, Carl Hardy decided that wasn't what he wanted, and he moved to demolish the building. Well, all those years, we've been refused right to repair the front wall because the city has a policy against allowing any work to be done on a property that's on a demolition list. I think that's a policy the city should review because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to allow that retaining wall to stay that way for 9 years because you have a policy. You know, it's been a distraction to the city. Numerous members of council have commented on that property and condemned the property. And finally, we had to go to federal court. The judge requested that we sit down and meet, which we did on May 4th of this year. And we thought we had come to an agreement on May 4th. We were told we needed to present a contractor and financing for $300,000 and come back Monday, which we did. Well, we were refused to take it off the demolition list because supposedly there'd never been a house taken off the demolition list, which I knew wasn't true because there was houses taken off the list when I was on council. However, finally, last Friday, the federal judge took the house off the demolition list. Monday, I applied for a building permit. I did not get it. I got a list of things I had to comply. Tuesday, I met with the city manager. He said he's all for finishing the house. And today, I provided compiled the list of things that they requested and provided it to them. And I have yet to get the building permit. But I'm hoping it'll be forthcoming. I've already lost 4 days, and I wanted to have that front porch done before Christmas. But anyhow, I'm looking forward to getting the restoration done, and it's sad that it's taken this long, and it's sad that I've had to go through this expense, but at least it's going to be finished, and the citizens won't have to worry about that, and it will be an addition to the community. So anyhow, I felt that it was important to provide you all with copies of some of the documents, because some of you haven't been on council during all this, and now you have all the documents, and if you have questions, feel free to call me. I don't know if I left my number on there, but heck, Annette, I think you know my number. Same one.
It's on there.
Oh, okay. So you have it, and hopefully we can move on from there and make this as the historical preservation people call, the pivotal house in the historic district. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Randy Haynes, Casey Bennett, 640 South Fifth Street, wishes to address council concerning neighbors.
Zach McConnell's with us too.
Okay.
You both filled one out?
Neighbors.
Yeah, okay, I've lived at my house, I've lived there 30 years. And the first 5 were pretty good. There was a nice family that lived there, they both worked at Anchor Hawking. It folded, they lost their jobs. My great fortune, Steve Medina gets his house. In the 25 years since he's had it, 20 to 25, my house has been broken into twice by people that he's rented this house to. Now we got this new lovely group of people in there who have 4 pit bulls that bark for hours and hours at a time, all through the day, through the night. My wife is a ICU critical care nurse who works night shift, so needs to sleep during the day. Impossible to do. There's multiple vehicles up on the hill. At one time, they had 5 cars parked up on the hill. The city came, they towed them once, they got them back somehow. They came and they towed them a second time. One of them's back, hasn't moved in 3 weeks since it's gotten back. There's 3 others in the driveway now. Code enforcement came up, issued citations. Code enforcement hasn't came back to see if these citations were remedies. They haven't, the refrigerator's still sitting on the back porch. The foundation on this house, if you look at the front of it, the block is shoved in to probably a good 2 to 3 inch crack that's been filled with spray foam insulation. The roof on the house, it's probably been about 2 years ago when he put new shingles on, had such a bow in it that you could tell the sheeting on the roof is rotted. They didn't strip the shingles off. They didn't put new sheeting on. They just shingled right over top of it, because you can look at it now and see it swayed in. And on top of all that, usually starts on Friday evenings. There's more traffic coming and going from that house than go more on Chestnut Street. And you'll watch them. They'll park they'll have people, they'll park, sometimes they'll park at the top of the hill, they'll park at the bottom of the hill, and there's 2 or 3 select individuals that'll walk up to the house, go down the driveway beside it, around to the back. 2 to 3 minutes later, they leave. Go back up and get either the top of the hill or the bottom of the hill, get in the car, they drive off. This goes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, all day long. They're just inconsiderate, rude people. And the male that lives there, convicted felon for possession with intent to distribute. Go figure. He doesn't work. The female works at Imprecision. I mean, at least she works. It's a $10 an hour job. There's no way they're affording that house, all the cars, a 65-inch curved 4K TV that the box is sitting out in front of the house. I ain't buying something like that, and I've got a good job. My wife's a nurse, has a good job. I don't have a 65-inch 4K TV, couldn't afford one. It's a $3,000-4,000 TV. It's ridiculous that we have to put up with someone like this in our neighborhood.
Do we have the address of the actual?
Yes,
It's 644 South Fifth Street.
640?
we have proof of them smoking pot. My house smells like weed almost daily. I mean, I know you can't really, they could just say, oh, it was a cigarette. And the dogs are being neglected. I don't know if I can hand that to you, or
That's fine.
they're aggressive.
They actually came and took the dogs at one point, but now they have them back. The big male pit bull gets over the fence. They've been out multiple times. Multiple times they've been out. I've taken pictures.
and send them to the animal control guy. He said, send me a picture anytime you see him out front. I have little grandkids. If one of those dogs would bite one of my little grandkids, I'm probably going to jail. Just that simple.
My 5-year-old watched one of their dogs. That is my leg from the female. He watched me get fit. We get maybe 2 hours of sleep at night because of the barking. My son's having night terrors. He has to go to therapy Monday because he wakes up or is, I don't know if you know what a night terror is, thinking, I'm getting ate by dogs, or he is. We have to lay in bed with him for 3 hours calming him. His teacher, he didn't go the full day today because of his behavior from not getting sleep. She's even gonna write a statement. Like, she has to take him out of the class and let him sleep because of this barking. If we do call the cops, we're the nuisance. Like, we're in a catch-22. It's like, I have probably over 8 hours of video after 10 o'clock of these dogs barking. He lost his job because he couldn't sleep. Like, I don't know what to do. We're at our wits' end. If we try to do anything, we don't want to break the law. We don't want to stoop to their level. It's today, or last night, I got woken up because of some guy yelling, whoa, 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 because he almost hit my car. Once he said, they were what, Mercedes?
They had
Mercedes, Audi, a BMW. Like, I can barely afford my car. How do these people do that? And he brought in another car, blocked our driveway. I was like, we'll deal with it in the morning. I just want to go to bed. I had a migraine from not sleeping for 3 to 4 days. I just didn't feel good. Woke up this morning, couldn't get a hold of the tow company.
And all the tow companies either said that they didn't have the manpower, or they couldn't do it without the police helping them. They couldn't jump in without police.
Even our driveway is blocked.
And per the code, says any blocked driveway or something like that, car can be towed.
They got a ticket.
They just got a ticket. They didn't tow it this morning.
8 hours later, it was moved. When we came back, there was a cop sitting out and the wrecker was loading the vehicle. The 5th, I did call the cops for the dog barking. I couldn't take it anymore. My son was screaming and crying. I called. I even have, what time did I call? 12:17 a.m. is the call logs. Cops show up, step out of the car. Of course, the dogs quit barking. From the moment they pulled up to the left, 20 seconds. Well, I was at my wit's end. My child needed sleep. I went on my front porch and yelled, can you please make your dogs be quiet? We have to sleep. His answer, by the way, federal, what is it? Federal supervised, what is it?
Federal supervised release.
Yeah, goes out with the CO2 BB gun, shoots the dog, not at the dog, shoots the male pit bull that's being starved 3 times. I call the police again, I get a phone call. They didn't show up. He's being starved. I know it's difficult because you almost need like solid proof, but these poor babies are, and I know they attacked me, but.
Are those extra pictures?
Oh yeah, you can have these.
Can you do
Yeah,
something?
we got,
Oh yeah.
we got pictures and videos.
My son's in therapy. It's, do you want the call logs? I don't.
Yeah, we'll give them to the city manager.
Oh,
and
okay.
That way we can, do you need the call logs?
This is where he's
if you don't,
dumping.
do you need them? If you don't,
Yeah, or, no, you're fine, I got
We
all
can
these.
get 'em.
Here,
Yeah, we
here you
got
go.
it.
Okay.
Got pictures of, we just printed those off earlier today.
I got
so-
video of them nonstop barking.
We even have a list, I forgot to bring mine, she forgot hers,
We tried to give it to.
of the
Clarksburg.
license plate. Anytime I can go out and get a license plate number that pulls up in front of the house, I'll go right out and get it. I don't care what they're gonna say to me.
Yeah.
I'll write it down, description of the vehicle. I mean, it's, like I said, usually starts on Fridays. Ain't so much. Every now and then somebody comes during the week. But weekends, there's more traffic up there than there is at Gomart.
They
It's
saw
ridiculous.
it's out of his shed. What they do is, the way the house is they have their parking, which they can fit 3 cars, their house. So we have a walkway, and then our house. Because they have so many cars, they use our walkway. Medina told them, oh, it's shared, you can use it. They don't have a say, it's on our property. We put up a no trespassing sign. Code enforcement tried to get us to tear it down because supposedly it's shared. It says, no trespassing or at your own expense, and I even put, this includes walkway and driveway. They think they own the street. It's limited parking anyways. And it's just, and I hate calling, like, because there's so many more important things the cops can be doing, but at the same time, we have to sleep.
Right.
Another thing Steve Medina likes to do is he'll wait till the weekends, like this past Sunday. He had somebody up, some type of construction worker, carpenter, whatnot, up there doing work inside the house on a Sunday so that he don't have to put out the $20 it would cost to get a building permit, because he has none.
Our dogs can't go out. My Great Dane, we have over $300 in vet bills because he was too scared to go out. So he had a UTI trying to hold it, and the poor baby, I know I love animals. I'm the first person that'll take up for an animal. Like, he got to the point where he'd pee in his sleep. Our dogs are tortured because if we take our dog out on leashes, even though they're well trained, like he'll stop, they're great, but for the safety, and we're in the city, then you got on
Well,
leashes.
we've got, we'll have, between the police chief and the city manager, you've got the call log, which we have access to anyway, in the pictures, so we'll follow up on that.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't open my back door and step out my back door, my wife can't go out on the back porch, nothing, without all three of them dogs running towards the fence, growling and barking at you. I mean, I've done my research, and the state of West Virginia has a nuisance neighbor law, and it states right in there, if you emit enough noise or you have animals that keep somebody from peacefully enjoying their property, you are deemed to be a nuisance neighbor. And that's exactly what they are.
She brags, the lady, the girl, it's a man and a woman, they have 3 kids. I don't know where the other 2 is. They have an infant, 10-month-old is the only one in the house. She likes to brag that she's best friends with Code. Her uncle owns all the used car dealerships, which is probably how they're getting the stickers and the plates.
Because initially when they came and took the cars, they come up and said that they had to be legal. When they got them back, they had temporary tags on them. You get temporary tags from a dealership. If that car was already there, how do you have temporary tags on it the next day?
Yeah, we'll follow up. Would this be considered the first?
No,
Do I need to write down the names?
we'll follow up with you on this as well as after I meet with Code and kind of give you an idea.
Do you need our information numbers?
I took it off the sheet.
You
and
have
filled it out.
everything
Okay.
current on your sign-in sheet?
It's Randy, Casey, and Zach, correct? Okay.
All right,
we got
thank you. We'll
All right, thank you.
follow up on that.
Thank you so much for listening.
City managers report and update.
So the general updates on the demolitions, the contract signing was held on Tuesday, November 28th with the Urban Renewal Authority of the city as well as the contractors. Public Works has been continuing to raise the structures as of Monday, November 20th, as the ones we're doing in-house with our crews. To date, 6 structures out of the 25 have been raised by the Public Works crews. There's approximately 2 more that they can continue with until the rest are abated by the other contractors. Reclaim Company LLC was awarded 4 contracts consisting of 3 abatement and demolitions, which consisted of 13 structures, and 1 contract for abatement only consisting of 4 structures. And also a change order was executed earlier this week by myself in the amount of $6,830 for 211 Meigs Avenue for that structure. There was some transite siding that was underneath another set of siding that was not discovered during the testing process. Anderson Excavating has notified this utility to have all the utilities marked and disconnected for the contracts they've received. And Safeco Environmental were awarded 2 contracts for abatement only, and they will most likely begin abating those come January, the first of the year. They do have 90 days to complete that. Their contract won't take them that long to complete. Downtown on-street parking, as in the past, free parking for on-street meters will begin Monday, December 11th, and extend through Tuesday, November 26th. And again, the 2-hour time frame does stay in effect at those meters.
Will that be on our website?
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of people ask me about the free parking.
Yeah, it'll go up, I believe,
Monday?
tomorrow. Well, the announcement will go out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Take effect Monday. Also, just want to kind of congratulate some of the area Clarksburg schools. I don't think we give enough credit to the Clarksburg schools, but recently 4 Harrison County School students were recognized as part of the EQT Students of Excellence Scholarship Program. The students were Hunter Mullins, Jeremiah Ritter, and Christian Palmer from Notre Dame High School, and then Ethan Min from RCB High School. So I think we just need to kind of take these moments and celebrate when our students do a good job in Clarksburg as well. Economic Development, the Robbins Grant Performing Arts Center, East Addition Masonry is approximately 95% completed. The partition framing is approximately 95% completed in the theater building and restrooms concession area. The interior framing on the first floor of the West Addition is approximately 90% complete. The drywall installation is 20% complete. The rooftop HVAC units were set last week. And then the elevator installation is scheduled for mid to late January of 2018. So again, March Weston's continuing to move this project along. They're doing a great job. Just in the police and fire, promotional swearing in, Patrolman First Class Paul Graber and Justin Moore will be sworn in as sergeants on Monday, December 18th at 9 a.m. here in council chambers. And then fire, there is one vacancy that I mentioned in the prior manager's report. We're going to begin the interview process for those to fulfill that position for probationary firefighter. Sanitary Board, there will be a public hearing, and notices were sent out. And it'll be Tuesday, December 12th, 3 p.m. here in council chambers, more for a public informational meeting regarding the long-term control plan. And this will be discussing the phase 4 of the long-term control plan. And it will include introduction and discussion of proposed projects, which will include rehabbing and separation of 6 areas, minor upgrades to the existing wastewater treatment plant, and the rehab of the Ash Lagoon, which is to the north of the treatment plant. And then 6 areas being rehabilitated are Glen Elk area, Lower Broad Oaks area, East End, Staley, Broadway, East End, Route 50 area. But none of these upgrades will affect the sewer rates. These are projects we budgeted prior to going into these long-term control plan. So the public's welcome to come out, hear more about these projects and some of these storm separations that we're going to be doing in these areas. And then also, just under events, Jazz Stroll will be Friday, December 8th, beginning at 5:15. Again, various locations throughout downtown Clarksburg, consisting of My Mother's Daughter, 5th floor, Parker's on 4th Street Restaurant, Kelly's Irish Pub, and Washington Square. And not in the manager's report, I'm not going to belabor several FOIA's requests we have received as of this week, but we did receive numerous requests from Mr. Schaefer regarding various properties, communications regarding 141 East Main Street, as well as some adjacent property owners, specifically about the mayor's house and permits that if she has gotten any or any of her businesses dating back to 2005 or somewhere thereabout. So we will be researching those. Will take us quite some time as those are old permits and it does take consumption of time from staff, takes them away from other things, but we will comply what's duly noted by us by the law. In addition to that, just wanted to bring to the attention as well, being the fact that, I wish Mr. Schaefer didn't leave, but also the permit application was submitted, as he did mention on Monday, but there were 5 items that we did request from him to be submitted as well. Those were handed to him Monday morning when he brought his application in. He was not denied the application. The application was accepted. We requested the information from him to be supplemented to the application so it can be processed. And that's mainly what the judge's order said, is that they would enjoin us from moving forward with the demolition, but we would accept the application. And that is what we did, but we are asking for additional information because this is an abnormal situation we're in. Mr. Schaefer did not like that answer, and obviously, as you can see, so to get clarification, I did contact our attorney through the bankruptcy proceedings. We have filed a motion in the federal bankruptcy court, and maybe Mr. Schaefer's not aware of that, but it was filed as of today. We did receive a response back from the judge. Therefore, we will have, the judge finally will hear the city's motion for a status conference December 13th at 11 a.m. in bankruptcy court. And primarily, we want the judge to be highly involved in this case moving forward so that we don't continually have a disruptive in the way the city does business, the application processes, and to clarify to Mr. Schaefer of how we proceed from here going forward. So everybody's on the same page, and the judge clearly will have that opportunity to explain that, not only to Mr. Schaefer, but to the city as well. Everybody's on the same page, and we can get this project underway, hopefully, and get it completed. So just kind of a quick update.
What date was that?
December 13th, 11 a.m. It'll probably be teleconference.
That's not open to,
I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
But that completes the measure.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, Consideration of second and final read and public hearing of an ordinance of council of the city of Clarksburg, amending Article 115.01 of Part 1 of the codified ordinances of the city of Clarksburg to change the time of regular council meetings from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m. Notices regarding the public hearing appeared in the Exmouth Telegram on November 23rd and November 30th.
We will open this up for public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. We will close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and this will go into effect for the first January council meeting 2018.
New business, consideration of a resolution of the council of the city of Clarksburg, West Virginia, extending and renewing the employment contract dated December 15, 2016 between the city of Clarksburg and Martin Howe, and adopting a new employment contract dated December 7, 2017.
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve this resolution to extend the contract with Martin Howe.
Second. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Martin.
Thank you, and I appreciate all of council's support.
It's
Fairly-
well deserved.
Consideration of appointment to the Municipal Building Commission. And that's the reappointment of Mr. Larry Can.
I make a motion that we reappoint Hillary Larry Can to the Municipal Building Commission. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Council comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to make one comment about the demolition. I drove up Meigs Avenue, and my goodness, what a difference that taking those houses down on Meigs and then on, I guess, North Oak Street. So I just, what a difference it makes in the beautification of downtown Clarksburg. That's all I have.
I just want to congratulate Martin. He's done a tremendous job since I've been on council. Really, only city manager I know in the area. We're at $6.5 million in tax credits. A wonderful job. It's good to see everyone on council, even the ones that are in attendance, recognized how well you've done and deserve the raise that you received. And that's why. Keep up the good work and thank you.
Thanks.
Right.
I want to echo too, congratulate Martin for a well-deserved extension on his contract. Like I mentioned to council before, I had the opportunity to work with Martin for about 11 and a half of the 12 years he's been here. We talked about all the different projects and, just to come to mind, the Robinson Grant, the $12 million upgrade of the wastewater plant, the $3 million aquatic center. And I know how involved these projects were and how involved Martin had to be to see them to fruition. And with all the FOIAs and the lawsuits he's had to deal with, I know, he's a hard worker. He dedicates himself. He loves the city, and he's probably one of the most experienced city managers we have in the state. And I certainly will support. I certainly supported this resolution, and I'm glad that we have Martin as our city manager.
Thank you, Frank.
Very well said. Marshall? Okay.
Call for adjournment.
And,
So moved.
I don't know, do we have another meeting before Christmas?
We have one more.
That's good.
21st.
All right, meeting adjourned.